say you're tired, you don't wanna fight.
Women groups in Nigeria have been pushing to revive bills aimed at inclusivity after federal legislators rejected them in early 2022. In episode 7 of the Mbokodo series, we look at key indicators about women in Nigeria. Number 1. Nigeria has one of the world's highest fertility rates. The total fertility rate of women in Nigeria in 2018 was 5.3 births per woman, a slight decline from 5.8 births per woman in 2016 and 2017. As defined by the 2018 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey, the total fertility rate means the average number of children born to a woman in her reproductive years. The fertility rate of women in Nigeria is significantly higher than the global average, which is estimated to be 2.4 births per woman. A high fertility rate places pressure on resources available within a family, as well as on public infrastructure. Number 2. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria's statistical reports show that female doctors made up less than 35% of all doctors in 2017 and 2019. This share slightly increased to 35.04% in 2019. The trend was, however, reversed for dentists. Female dentists made up 44.36% of all dentists in 2017, but dropped to 40.66% in 2019. Male dominance is not limited to medicine and is evident across sciences. This is because in secondary school, girls are encouraged to go in the direction of courses in the arts or social sciences. Number 3. Data showed that the number of female teachers was at its highest in primary education, but this dropped as the education level advanced. In 2019, 56.2% of primary school teachers across Nigeria were female. This dropped to 50.4% in secondary schools and 23.6% among the academic staff in universities, where women accounted for just 15% of professors. Obstacles that made it difficult for Nigerian women to advance in academia include a woman getting married after her first degree and having to look after her family, which hinders her ability to fully commit to advancing her education. Experts say this outcome is reflective of the disparity between the educational attainment of women and men in the country. Number 4. A national survey in 2017 found that Nigeria has 73,081 small to medium businesses, where 43.43% of people employed by these businesses were women. More small businesses were owned by men at 57.98%. Finance is a major problem for entrepreneurs, especially for women, and this only worsened with the COVID pandemic. Number 5. Data shows the number of women in the police has declined. Women accounted for 19.09% of the Nigeria police force in 2016. In 2017, this dropped to 17.77% and 9.75% in 2018. The law governing the police has also been criticized as discriminatory. For example, women who wish to marry after becoming police officers must get permission from the state supervisor. This is only granted if the intended spouse is of good character and the woman has served at least 3 years. The Police Act also says an unmarried female officer faces dismissal if she becomes pregnant. A bid by the Nigerian Bar Association to repeal this section of the law was knocked by a judge in February 2022. In the paramilitary Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, women made up 26.73% of the total 56,441 civil defense workforce. This held constant in 2018 before rising slightly to 26.96% of the total 55,919 officers in 2019. Number 6. Nigeria is a signatory to the 1995 United Nations Beijing Declaration, which requires that 35% of political posts to be reserved for and occupied by women. The country has never met this provision. Women only hold 3.6% of the seats in Nigeria's lower house of representatives, compared to the average of 25% in sub-Saharan Africa. The country's Independent National Electoral Commission data shows 14 of Nigeria's 36 state houses of assembly do not have any female members. Before President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election in 2019, he pledged that 40% of appointments to federal boards parastatals would be women. That promise is yet to be fulfilled. Number 7. The Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey report for 2013 and 2018 showed that 60.6% of physical violence against women was committed by current husbands or partners in 2013. This dropped slightly to 58% in 2018. The data in the report also showed that women made up the majority of trafficking victims. In 2016, 80.57% of trafficked persons were women. This rose to 80.64% in 2019. The program officer at the Nigeria-based Media Coalition Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking said that women were preferred victims for many reasons, including prostitution and providing cheap labor. What did you think of this episode? Watinta Bafazi, Watinta Mbokodo. You strike a woman, you strike a rock. Stay informed. Be an Mbokodo that stays facts.